Hello, my dear students. Today we tackle the important topic of how to get your interview questions right. But first, let's understand why qualitative research is so fundamental in modern marketing. The qualitative method using interviews can offer valuable insights into the why behind consumer actions, unlike quantitative research, which focuses on how much. This approach explores personal experiences, feelings, and perspectives. Such insights are invaluable for businesses in today's dynamic market. They help companies build genuine connections with their audience. Understanding consumers profoundly is key to crafting effective strategies. Qualitative research informs product development and branding. It shapes compelling communication messages that resonate with consumers. This research identifies unmet customer needs and new market opportunities. It highlights specific pain points and moments of delight in customer journeys. This empathetic understanding is vital for customer-centered marketing. Rich insights are particularly valuable in today's competitive landscape. Consumers demand genuine authenticity, and generic messages often fail. Qualitative insights enable tailored and meaningful engagement. They help build stronger brand loyalty. Comprehending the why behind consumer choices provides a competitive edge. Interviews are a key qualitative research method, offering unique depth. One-on-one conversations allow for detailed exploration of personal experiences. This direct interaction yields a wealth of information. Mastering effective interview techniques is vital for any researcher. This understanding is crucial for success in marketing and business research. Consumer behavior is complex and central to marketing. It describes how individuals or groups select, purchase, use, or dispose of products. This behavior is influenced by psychological factors, social pressures, and cultural norms. Understanding this behavior is fundamental to marketing success. Businesses must know what drives purchasing decisions. This knowledge aids in predicting market trends and creating effective strategies. In-depth interviews unravel consumer behavior complexities. They explore detailed motivations, attitudes, and perceptions. Interviews reveal subconscious drivers that other methods might miss. The interactive nature of interviews facilitates probing deeper into answers. Personal narratives provide invaluable context for marketers. Quantitative data alone cannot explain the why behind figures. Qualitative interviews fill this gap by providing rich context. They add a human dimension to statistical data. This combination leads to a holistic understanding. In-depth interviews map the complete customer journey. They identify specific pain points and moments of delight. This journey mapping improves overall customer experience. It enables businesses to optimize interactions at every stage. Understanding individual journeys allows for personalized marketing. This detailed understanding is crucial for impactful marketing strategies. Okay, let's assume that your research is on the topic of consumer behavior and sustainability. Eco-friendly buying is an important consumer trend. As you know, eco-friendly buying is a huge consumer trend at the moment. Consumers consider environmental impacts during purchasing decisions. Global awareness of sustainability issues is growing every day. This awareness translates into new consumer priorities. Eco-conscious consumption is becoming mainstream. Businesses must adapt to this market shift. Key factors driving eco-friendly consumerism include media coverage and internet access. A sense of personal responsibility and social influence also contribute. Younger generations champion sustainable practices. Understanding these drivers is key for marketers. This understanding helps develop sustainable products and authentic messages. Identifying barriers to eco-friendly purchasing is vital. Common barriers include higher prices and limited availability. Overcoming these barriers unlocks market potential. Ignoring this trend risks business irrelevance. Understanding consumer attitudes informs product innovation. Eco-friendly buying behavior contains complexities. Not all consumers approach sustainability the same way. In-depth interviews explore these nuances. They uncover motivations, compromises, and justifications. This understanding allows for segmented and impactful marketing strategies. Okay, now let's look at what do we mean by interview guide. The interview guide is a flexible research tool. It outlines main topics and key questions for an interview. It is not a rigid script, but a framework for conversation. This framework ensures consistency across interviews. A well-prepared guide helps the interviewer stay focused. It acts as a prompt and checklist for coverage. The guide ensures all relevant questions are addressed. It promotes a structured approach to data collection. This enhances the reliability and comparability of findings. Without a guide, interviews risk becoming unfocused. A well-crafted guide contributes to gaining rich insights. It helps formulate open-ended questions for detailed responses. The guide prompts the interviewer to probe deeper. It explores underlying motivations and personal contexts. This introduction sets the stage for understanding interview guides. Subsequent parts will delve into practical application. We will explore creating an effective guide step by step. This includes formulating different types of questions. Examples of good and poor questions will be shown. Tips on wording and finding interesting angles will be provided. Mastering this tool is key to unlocking profound qualitative insights. The first step in creating an interview guide is having clearly defined research objectives. These objectives guide every decision in your study. They ensure interviews remain focused and purposeful. Think of objectives as the compass for your qualitative exploration. Without clear objectives, your research can become aimless. Defining objectives requires careful thought and precise articulation. Be specific about what you want to discover. Consider what puzzles you about consumer choices in the eco-friendly market. For instance, an objective might be understanding motivations for purchasing organic food. Another could be identifying barriers to adopting reusable packaging. Objectives should be achievable and relevant to your broader questions. Practical examples related to eco-friendly buying include exploring how consumers interpret sustainability claims. Another objective might be investigating the influence of social media on purchasing decisions, or understanding emotional factors driving brand loyalty to eco-conscious companies. These objectives signal the type of deep understanding you aim to achieve. They help design questions that directly address these points. Clear objectives act as a quality control mechanism. They ensure your interview guide is focused on what matters. Every question should link back to an objective. This approach ensures relevant and actionable insights. Well-defined objectives lay a solid foundation for the interview process. After defining research objectives, you should identify some key themes. These themes structure your interview and flow from your objectives. Think of themes as the main chapters in your research story. For eco-friendly products, several themes might emerge. Brainstorming helps ensure comprehensive coverage. Examine each objective and break it down into subtopics. For example, if an objective is understanding motivations for buying eco-friendly, themes could include personal values and health considerations. Review existing literature to highlight relevant themes. Previous studies point towards common factors influencing choices. Themes form the main sections of your interview guide. Specific examples of themes for eco-friendly buying include price sensitivity and skepticism towards green claims. Lack of information is also a common barrier. If investigating drivers, themes might include a desire for a healthier lifestyle. Influence of documentaries could be a relevant theme. Each theme should be distinct yet interconnected. Prioritize themes to focus on the most critical ones. Select themes that yield the richest insights. Focus on depth rather than breadth for core themes. This ensures manageable interviews while delving deep. A well-chosen set of themes provides a solid framework. This framework guides your questions and ensures comprehensive coverage. After defining objectives and themes, consider the funnel approach for your interview guide. Just like in a funnel, you start with broad questions, then narrow the focus to more specific topics. This builds rapport and makes the interviewee comfortable, and it's effective for exploring complex subjects. The funnel approach, will surely help you maximizing the insights you get from your interviewee. Now let's see how we can effectively craft initial, open-ended questions for each theme. With your themes identified, start crafting open-ended questions. These questions elicit detailed responses and begin with how, why, or what. Avoid jargon and leading questions to ensure clarity and neutrality. Pilot test your questions with a colleague or friend for feedback. Refine your questions to ensure they are effective. Incorporating prompts and probes for deeper exploration. Prompts and probes add depth to interviews. Prompts are gentle cues, while probes are follow-up questions for more detail. Use prompts if an interviewee struggles, and probes to encourage elaboration. Effective use of these tools hinges on active listening and sensitivity. They transform good interviews into great ones, unlocking rich insights. Characteristics of ineffective questions. Identifying ineffective questions is crucial for strong interviews. Bad questions hinder gaining rich insights. They can shut down conversation or confuse participants. Closed-ended questions invite short answers. Leading questions steer responses. Ambiguous questions leave participants unsure. Jargon can alienate interviewees. Recognizing these traits is essential for researchers. The hallmarks of effective questioning for rich insights. Effective questions are open-ended, neutral, and clear, inviting detailed responses. They guide conversations towards research objectives while allowing unique perspectives. For example, instead of asking, "Do you care about eco-friendly packaging?" ask, "What are your thoughts on packaging and environmental concerns?" This approach encourages genuine, reflective dialogue and rich insights. Practical transformation, turning poor questions into powerful ones. Transforming ineffective questions is vital for qualitative research. Shift from closed to open phrasing, remove leading language, and simplify terminology. Example, change. Do you recycle regularly? To, can you tell me about your recycling habits? This invites richer insights and avoids simple yes or no answers. Question sequencing and interview dynamics. The effectiveness of your interview guide depends on question sequencing and the overall flow of the conversation. Even perfectly phrased questions can fall flat if asked in an illogical order. The funnel approach, moving from general to specific, builds rapport. This creates a natural rhythm, making the interviewee feel comfortable. Poor sequencing can negatively impact the interview. Asking sensitive questions too early can make participants defensive. They may provide guarded answers, affecting the interview's quality. Jumping between topics can confuse the interviewee. This results in fragmented data, complicating analysis. Well-crafted, thoughtfully arranged questions build upon each other. Good questions allow for deeper exploration of research topics. Logical questions make participants feel heard and valued. This builds trust and encourages richer insights. The interview becomes a collaborative exploration, yielding valuable data. Piloting your interview guide is crucial for testing flow and sequence. Practice interviews help identify awkward transitions and confusing questions. This feedback allows you to refine your questions and sequence, ensuring your interview guide works cohesively to achieve your research objectives. Now let's look at the art of following up on what your interviewees are saying in order to have a rich conversation with them. Follow-up questions are fundamental to qualitative research. They move beyond superficial answers to build a dialogue with the respondents. Often people do not explain things or feelings in a lot of details. Thus, initial responses are just the tip of the iceberg, and it is your job as a researcher to uncover richer insights and dig deeper into the meaning of a superficial answer. Follow-ups delve much deeper into the thoughts and feelings of your research participants. They uncover rich, nuanced details. Without them, valuable insights can be missed. True understanding emerges from these explorations. They transform quanda into genuine dialogue. Mastering follow-ups is essential for meaningful data. Active listening is key to identifying probing opportunities. It involves full concentration on verbal and non-verbal cues. These cues signal areas for further exploration. Without active listening, crucial insights are missed. This skill is essential for gathering rich qualitative data. Crafting effective follow-up questions requires skill and thoughtful consideration. Like primary questions, follow-ups should ideally be open-ended and neutral. They should directly relate to what the participant has just shared. This ensures the conversation flows naturally and stays focused on relevant themes. The goal is to encourage further reflection and more detailed responses. Avoid phrasing that could be perceived as judgmental or leading in any way. Instead, aim for questions that communicate genuine curiosity and a desire to understand. The best follow-ups often feel like natural extensions of the ongoing conversation. They delve deeper without making the interviewee feel interrogated or uncomfortable. One common type of follow-up is the clarifying probe, used to ensure understanding. If a participant uses a vague term or makes an unclear statement, clarification is needed. For instance, if someone says an eco-friendly product has good values, a clarifying follow-up could be, when you say good values, what does that mean to you in this context? Or, could you give me an example of what you consider a good value for a product? These questions help to eliminate ambiguity and ensure you grasp their precise meaning. This precision is vital for the accuracy of your data analysis later on. It prevents you from making assumptions about what the interviewee intended. Clarity is paramount for building a solid foundation for your research findings. Elaborating probes are designed to encourage the participant to provide more detail. These are used when an initial response is interesting but lacks depth or specific examples. You might ask, could you tell me more about that particular experience? Or, that's an interesting point. Can you expand on that a little? If a consumer mentions a frustrating experience with green product availability, an elaborating probe is key. You could follow up with, what made that experience particularly frustrating for you? This prompts them to share more specific details, emotions, and context. Such elaboration transforms a brief comment into a rich piece of qualitative data. These details are often where the most valuable insights are found. Reflective or summarizing probes can also be incredibly effective for deeper insights. This technique involves paraphrasing or summarizing what the interviewee has said. Then you gently ask them to confirm or expand upon your summary. For example, so if I'm understanding correctly, you feel that finding reliable information about sustainable sourcing is the biggest challenge. Is that right? This shows you are actively listening and processing their input. It gives the participant an opportunity to correct any misinterpretations. It can also prompt them to add further thoughts or refine their previous statements. This reflective technique builds rapport and encourages a more profound level of sharing. It helps to ensure a shared understanding between the interviewer and interviewee. The art of spontaneous probing. While an interview guide provides structure, spontaneous probing is crucial. Follow-up questions arise organically from the conversation. They can't always be scripted in advance. Insightful follow-ups are a hallmark of skilled interviewers. This requires adaptability and genuine curiosity. Spontaneous probing leads to rich discoveries. It delves into unanticipated areas, enriching the interview. Balancing structure with flexibility is key. This approach unlocks profound qualitative insights. The power of precise wording, clarity, and simplicity. Clear and simple language is paramount in qualitative research. Use everyday words, avoid technical jargon, and ensure clarity. Usually, specific questions prevent confusion and ensure more focused responses. Another important thing is to avoid double-barreled questions or asking too many things at once. It is best to ask about one thing at a time so that the interviewee does not get confused or overwhelmed. Crafting clear questions enhances participant engagement and data quality. Neutrality in language, avoiding bias in your questions. Maintaining neutrality in your question wording is essential for unbiased responses. Avoid leading questions is crucial. For example, instead of asking, "Are you concerned about the issue of plastic pollution?" ask, "What are your thoughts on plastic pollution?" This allows participants to express genuine emotions without feeling pressured. Uncovering deeper insights, creative angles and questioning techniques. Try to move beyond surface-level questions in order to gain richer insights from your participants. Remember that creative angles can unlock deeper motivations. Try also to encourage participants to reflect on their choices and how they come about. Ask about the origins of their beliefs and their cultural context. Use scenarios to uncover underlying attitudes. Encourage storytelling for rich, detailed data, like asking, "Do you have a personal story to share on this?" Identifying sensitivity. What makes a topic delicate? Sensitive topics touch upon private, stressful, or socially controversial aspects of people's lives. These include personal finances, religious or political beliefs, and health experiences. Behaviors considered illegal, deviant, or socially undesirable are also sensitive. Sensitivity is subjective. What one finds easy, another might find distressing. Researchers must approach participants with awareness of potential sensitivities. This understanding is crucial for ethical interviewing practice. Establishing a secure-based trust and participant well-being. Trust and rapport are essential for sensitive topics. Participants share more when they trust the researcher. Trust builds from initial contact and informed consent. Explain research purpose, confidentiality, and data use. Create a secure base for sensitive discussions. Ensure a private, comfortable interview setting. Project empathy, patience, and non-judgment. Empower participants with control and rights. Validate their feelings without judgment. Reflect back key aspects to show attentiveness. Why a well-crafted guide is indispensable. So, just to recap, I hope this tutorial has clarified that an interview guide is far more than a simple list of questions. It serves as the researcher's essential blueprint for meaningful discovery. It ensures a systematic, consistent, and focused approach to data collection. This structured framework is absolutely vital for achieving rich qualitative insights. Without such a guide, interviews can become unfocused and less productive. The insights gained might lack the necessary depth or comparability. Therefore, its value in rigorous qualitative research cannot be overstated. It is a testament to thoughtful preparation and methodical execution. A well-designed interview guide significantly enhances the quality of your data. It promotes consistency across multiple interviews with different participants. This consistency is particularly important for reliable comparative analysis later. For complex areas like consumer behavior or eco-friendly purchasing decisions. This depth helps to uncover genuine motivations, attitudes, and potential barriers. It allows you to move beyond assumptions to real understanding. The guide helps ensure all critical research areas are adequately covered. This thoroughness contributes directly to the credibility of your findings. Beyond the practical aspects of data collection, the guide supports ethical research. It prompts careful consideration of participant well-being from the outset. This is especially true when questions might touch upon personal circumstances. Topics like financial constraints or lifestyle choices can be sensitive. The guide encourages you to plan for handling such topics with care. It also builds the interviewer's confidence and overall preparedness for fieldwork. Knowing you have a solid plan reduces anxiety and improves performance. This focus on ethics and preparedness is a hallmark of professional research. Furthermore, the interview guide is a tool that balances structure with adaptability. While it provides a clear pathway, it is not a rigid script. It should always allow for spontaneous exploration of emergent themes. Skilled interviewers use the guide as a foundation, not a constraint. This flexibility is crucial for capturing unexpected yet valuable insights. The guide can and often should evolve as your understanding grows. It is a dynamic instrument that supports a truly explorative research process. This adaptability is key to the richness of qualitative inquiry. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I see you in the next one. Cheerio!